Hello guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Adriana from the beautiful mountain kingdom of Lesotho, a small country in the southern part of Africa that is completely landlocked by South Africa. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is indeed a special video as I'm creating this in light of thanking you guys for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. Those of you that have been with me for a while know that I derive joy, peace, and happiness in the simple things in life. And today I'm finding just that in my uncle's beautiful small urban garden, which is rather incredibly productive for such a small space. So guys, stick around because I've saved my favorite feature of this garden for last. So this is a 20 by 30 meter site, and the house is already taking up almost half of that space. And the garden has 3 incredible grape trellises, and all of them are absolutely loaded with grapes and are just screaming abundance. This is a vertical wire trellis, and these vines have not produced much in the past, but this year they seem to be loaded with grapes. I particularly love the canopy trellises. There are 2 of these in the yard, and they are screaming abundance. Each canopy is made up of a single plant, which really goes to show just how much a single plant is capable of producing. This is a lot of food, guys, for a family of 5. There is often so much excess that my uncle has to give away some of the food. And I also love that these are different varieties which also mature at different times, therefore spreading the harvest period as well. Guys, there's such an abundance of grapes here. Even the neighbor's vine has extended forth a branch onto my uncle's chicken coop, which makes me wonder who owns the fruit legally in a case like this. Anyway, this is the chicken coop in the yard. That's such a beautiful rooster that they have some beautiful hens, and these chickens are providing eggs and meat for the family, and they are also allowing some of the broody hens to hatch those eggs. Therefore, the number of chickens keeps on increasing, regardless of the fact that they are slaughtering some of them for meat as well. These little chicks actually hatched 2 days ago, so they're being kept separately just so that they're safe. And I was a bit worried that Mama Hen was gonna peck me for coming so close to her babies, but she was quite sweet and she allowed me to film the babies. Just look at how cute they are. Anyway guys, there are just so many plants in this yard, and I don't even know what this is right here where the chicks are being kept. You guys let me know if you know what this is. The plant that I really want to talk about right now is this kale by the big chicken coop, which is growing at a very convenient spot. I mean, the plants are massive and they are going to seed as well, and my uncle is doing some seed saving from that. I've been enjoying grabbing some of that kale, during my visit here, and just feeding those chickens and just watch how they're gonna scramble for it in a few seconds. There it goes. You see, the chickens love it so much, so it's good to have it growing there. There are also some pig pens in the yard, so they are producing their own pork as well. The pens would normally be cleaner than this, but they've been experiencing problems with water shortage for the past 3 weeks, which is rather tragic. So next, I want to show you guys this pomegranate, which is actually flowering and beginning to fruit right now. Look at how beautiful these are, guys. Let me just see if okay, there's a flower looking gorgeous and absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness, this is just lovely. And right next to the pomegranate, we have this gorgeous lavender. I swear I've never seen one lavender bush that is so big and lush, and it just smells absolutely gorgeous, and the butterflies love it as well. And I was wondering where the bees are. I mean, I was expecting this plant to be buzzing with bees, only to find out that the bees were on the peach tree, which have ripened, so the birds have been pecking them a lot, and the bees are just enjoying the juice from those. So moving away from the lavender and coming across this small path here, I'm just gonna show you guys some more of the garden. We are yet to cover that area where the kids are playing, but over here we have some of the herbs. This is dill, which is quite massive for a single plant. And over here we have this beautiful fence of sunflowers, and they're just incredible. I love the size and the height, and they look like they're gonna flower anytime soon, so that's gonna be quite beautiful. And this is where my uncle normally has his squash patch. So this is all squash and more sunflowers. And this is another plant that I actually don't know what it is. I have no idea what this is. We have a few more sunflowers in between here, and this is actually an orange, so those are oranges. Yeah, those are all oranges. Last time when I was here, the oranges were ripe and bright orange, and it was quite a beautiful sight to behold. And along the fence there from the neighbor, he planted a bit of fruit trees, and there's a little birdie sitting on the fence there. So he has all these different fruit trees along the fence, and these are potatoes growing on this side. So there's a row of potatoes, and wow, the view looks amazing from here. So guys, the garden is basically a mixed farming system, and over here we have the peaches that I showed you guys earlier. The tree was absolutely loaded. I enjoyed so much of these because I absolutely love peaches. And these are the pigsties that I showed you guys a bit earlier in the video. So the pigs were just taking a rest in there from the heat of the day. And over here we have some maize, there's lots of sunflower and another peach tree, and these ones are still quite green, so those ones will get ready later on. And by the pigsty here we have that cactus and the prickly pears over here. So there's quite a lot going on in this yard, right? So let's just move on and see the rest of it. Over here are more sunflowers. I would actually love to see those in bloom. They'll look quite pretty. So on this side there's more maize and more sunflower all intercropped in there, and some of the maize is beginning to tassel already. So this looks quite incredible. On the other side of the maize is where we have the first grapevine that I showed you. And this is a dead tree. And beneath it here we have a lot going on that looks like zucchini, which is fruiting already. So my uncle is just planting stuff everywhere, so it's quite productive here. You see the flowering, and there's a bit of maize in between there as well. And on this side there's more potatoes, there's some beetroot and carrots and some onions. And they're actually onions that are ready to harvest now here. So they'll have quite a bit of onions for quite some time. And over here is spinach that is going to seed already. And on this tree over here, this is a pear tree, and it's quite loaded with fruit, and those will be ready sometime in February. So it's actually good to have this progression of stuff to harvest over time. So this tree is quite loaded with fruit, as you guys can see, and beneath it here there's more stuff growing that looks like more zucchini or some type of squash. And over here we have some green beans which are maturing already. So wow, so much food, you guys, in such a tiny space. And this is a plum tree. I was told they were finished just before we came. So this is the grape that I showed you earlier, the canopy, and beneath it here, or just rather in front of it, these are eggplants planted here. And just beside these eggplants you have more kale over there. Brassicas are quite challenging to grow in the summer. And over here, already caged up, some tomatoes. Over here we have bell peppers and more tomatoes behind there. And there's a tiny bell pepper already fruiting there, and a tiny tomato back there. So it just goes to show how much food one can grow on small space. I mean, look at this one maize plant towering here, and in between the pomegranate and the lavender are more green beans in between there. And just on the other side there's more squash or something sprawling on the ground over there. and it's fruiting already. So much food, guys, on such a small space. Wow. So right in front of these grapes, I believe that's a rose growing there. And over here we have these strawberries, and I'm told this is a unique variety, and they actually bear their fruit like upright, so they don't spread the fruit on the ground, which I thought was interesting. So he initially had 10 plants, but 2 died, so there's 8 left. So there's more stuff growing along the border of the house, more green beans, some kind of aloe, I don't know what that is. Definitely a perennial pepper here, more green beans, and this flower, and I don't know what that plant is, more flowers. And this one, I also don't know what it is. And yeah, there's just so much, guys. So this is the plant that I mentioned earlier that I'm also not familiar with. And it's also planted along the border of the house. And this is definitely thyme. I actually snipped some to smell it. And I think another rose growing there, and this herb I also wasn't familiar with, but you guys let me know in the comments if you know what this is. I initially thought it's more thyme, but it was something else. So I'm just gonna take you guys to the back of the house now. So over here they have some sweet potatoes, and that's an avocado tree, but I don't think this tree has ever bore any fruit yet. And right here there's this huge patch of strawberries. The drought is not doing it any justice right now, and it used to be at the front of the house, but they moved it back here. And it's so big. And over here there's this gorgeous, absolutely beautiful flower, and more strawberries. And along the fence here, these are beans that are coming up on this patch. And that brings us to my favorite part of the garden. This rose bush is absolutely my favorite, guys. Just look at it. Look at how many blooms are on it, and they're so beautiful. And the smell is absolutely enchanting. I tell you what, guys, I need cuttings from this plant. Guys, thank you so much for watching up until this far. Please remember to like the video, comment, share it with friends and family, and also subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll know every time I upload. You guys take care, and until next time, bye.